This is the quantum leap moment. The changes that you've been looking for, the changes that you've been working towards are now here to take root in your life. The new norm, the new routines that will come into your life starting from now. So this is eclipse season, so anything can happen, but be careful not to give your energy to the people who are talking about the doom and gloom scenarios of those eclipses, because you are the operant power of your life. You are still the creator of your own reality, no matter what happens on the outside. So make sure that you're not hooked by the doom and gloom scenarios of the eclipse season. Do not give in to doubt, fear. Be hopeful, expect the best, even things look negative on the outside. Know and remember that eclipses are the magical times that you can see all the silver lining. Know that you will make the most of this eclipse time. You don't have to feel fearful, you don't have to feel doubtful about the future that is waiting for you. This is not a traditional astrological video. This is a channeled message specifically for this time around the Libra full moon lunar eclipse on the 25th of March, give and take a couple of days. The first theme that I'm picking up for this lunar eclipse is about healing from your happiness, anxiety. And you may say that why somebody would feel like anxious over happiness, because normally we associate anxiety with negative feelings like, I don't know, depression, fear, doubt, or whatever you may think of. But and actually that was the first reaction that I gave to it when I first read it in the book, the Nathaniel Branden's 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, for years ago, where he was talking about happiness, anxiety. And it says that what is required for many of us, paradoxical though it may sound, is the courage to tolerate happiness without self-sabotage. And think for a moment how many times that we blow up when things are going, seems like, you know, things are going well, and we intuitively feel totally different, but because certain things are not meeting the standards of our like false measuring stick that we create in our mind, just because of that, or because we immediately think that, oh, it's too good to be true, or it can't happen to me, or etc. We just immediately like manifest our worst case scenarios in our life. And the theme around this full moon, lunar eclipse, full moon in Libra, actually is exactly like this. I mean, there might be certain things in your life that are changing and you feel the change. You can almost like feel the breeze of change is coming over you, but because you haven't experienced anything beautiful like this before, you're so anxious that you may lose them. And he says, the Nathaniel Branden in the book, he says, happiness anxiety is very common. Happiness can activate internal voices saying, I don't deserve this, or it will never last, or I'm riding for a fall, or I'm killing my mother or father by being happier than they ever were, or life is not like this, or people will be envious and hate me, or happiness is only an illusion, or nobody else is happy, so why should I be? I know you might feel so familiar with all these feelings that he mentioned in the book. It is such a big theme for many of us in our lives. But if we want to raise the bar, if we want to be a match to the things that we want to manifest in our life, we need to raise the level of the feeling of the naturalness that we feel for the upcoming changes. You know, when it comes to manifesting things, you need to feel it. You need to feel that it is natural for you to feel that way. Otherwise, even if you win the lottery, you may spend it all in a couple of years or even like months, because you are not a match to abundance. You're not a match to who is a person who is financially free. just because of that, you cannot match this outside reality, which is the lottery and the money that you earn from that, because your internal reality and the way how you speak to yourself is not a match to it. You just lose that money. You can't hold it because your vessel, your body, your energetic frequency is not a match to that. So this is actually true for everything. It might be true for love. You may not used to feeling safe and secure in love, that relationship that feels safe and secure all day, every day, not just for some time and some days. You may automatically look for the worst case scenario. You may think that it doesn't happen to me. I mean, be aware of these self-talk around this lunar eclipse, because it is asking you to really face your demons, but it's not kind of like a shadow work this time. It is more like getting used to feeling good, getting used to that things are finally working out for you, and things can work out for you as well. You don't have to be an audience at this moment watching other people's successes, other people thriving their life, other people earning the money, the success, the career goals that they have, or the relationship goals that they have, or having this magical, wonderful dream lifestyle that they live. You don't have to be audience anymore. It can happen to you as well. It can happen to you as well. If you are someone you believe and you feel inside of you that things are shifting, things are changing, and intuitively you feel it, then you are 100% correct, because this time is signaling you that everything is going to be different for you this time around, but you need to get used to things are working for you. You can have it all. You can be one of them. You can beat your happiness anxiety. You don't have to feel anxious because things are working for you, because this is new for you, that things are working for you, because you got used to things like, crumbling in your life. You can be one of them. Just get used to it. Raise your frequency and welcome all the magic and the miracle that this lunar eclipse time is distributing its abundance infinitely to you and showering over you. Just receive it, and receive it. If you're someone like me who loves reading books about manifestation, spirituality, esoteric stuff and all, then I highly recommend you to go and check my Instagram account, Manifest with Books. I will put the link down below as well, so I welcome you to join me in the book club. The second thing that I'm picking up for this lunar eclipse is breaking free from anything, any outdated forms, patterns, pendulums that are holding us back. The moment we realize that the safety and security can only come within rather than the things that we attain on the outside, that is the moment that we are so close, the closest to break free from the old patterns. And sometimes even the things that we are looking to manifest, and when they arrive and they make themselves apparent in our life, even so at those times it might be harder to go and take them. So even when things seems like it's gonna be an upgrade, clearly an upgrade for our life, it might be harder for us to get them because we're afraid of the new responsibilities, we're afraid of the new identity that we need to embody. So it's the same thing if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to be the manager of your own company or anything like that. You need to let go and say goodbye to the patterns of like working safely in a company and receiving your salary, even if it's a good month for you or not a good month or an okay month, you still get the same salary. But you know that when you become the owner of your own business, you have to show up and you are the only one responsible for it. At the end of the day, you need to be able to let go of the old residues and trust yourself enough that you can maintain this new level of energy, this new level of frequency that this new level is requiring for you to acquire and have within yourself. Main theme here is, when we talk about let go and, you know, say goodbye to limiting beliefs and the patterns and all, we're not always talking about, like, you know, letting go of a bad habit like smoking, drinking, or lying, or I don't know, like not showing up, being lazy or whatever. But we sometimes talk about these sneaky ropes that are actually tying us to where we are, that we need to cut our connection to. We are afraid that we may not become a match to the new frequency, we may not be a good fit, we may, you know, certainly a kind of like a self-esteem issue or a doubt or fear that might be also holding us back from the life that we want to have, we want to live. So that is also a part that we need to really be careful about around this time, because it might be easy to point out your bad habits or whatever that is holding you back. If you're lazy, it's so easy to point out that you're lazy, and if you want to achieve such and such, you need to deal with inertia that's holding you back. However, if there is something that is clearly in front of you that you really want to have and you still cannot say yes to it, then there might be something sneaky that's holding you back. It may not be that easy to point out as like a bad habit, but it could be something very deep inside of yourself. Maybe you're afraid of the responsibilities. Maybe you're afraid of the new features of that person who is going to occupy that state, and you're afraid that you may not successfully occupy that state because it's so hard for you to say no to certain people who are clearly not a match to the new state that you want to be in. Or the people around you, maybe the loved ones that you sometimes need to say no to because you're focusing on your work at this moment and you need some space and time and quality time for yourself. So be mindful of that and say yes to the improvements, say yes to the upgrades. Overall, this is a very powerful time, but as I said in the beginning, there is no need to be afraid of, because this is your life still, and you have the upper hand, you have the power of creating your own reality, even in the midst of an eclipse season, because you always make the meaning in the things that are happening in your life. So try to embrace optimistic point of view, knowing that everything will work out well for you. Get used to things are working out for you this time. It is the springtime, everything is like moving forward. It is the new astrological new year as well starting, and this could be your year. And stop feeding the fear of the pendulums actually that has been created around, you know. I know that some contents on YouTube, for example, they are very toxic because they know that they can only attract attention of the people by speaking to their fears. If, for example, they say, oh, this is the biggest eclipse, you're gonna lose this, you're gonna lose that, you're gonna fail this, you're gonna fail that. And because you resonate with that, because you're also afraid that this thing's coming and becoming real in your life, you click to them and you are hooked by the pendulums of their, you know, negative pendulums, that where they are being fed only, not you. You don't get anything out of it, you only get the negativity out of it, and they get the views. So be mindful of this time and focused on your path, focused on where you want to go, rather than the turmoil that's happening around you. It can always be the case with the eclipses, it can go in any direction, but know that if your roots are stronger, then you can let your leaves, you know, fall around or like shake like hell. But because your root is strong, you will get through that, and you will get through on the other side of this eclipse wonderfully and stronger than ever. So believe in yourself, believe in your core, and I believe in you too. You will make the most of this eclipse. I hope this video and this intuitive messages helped you in some way. I'll see you in the other videos, and take care.